Hi there, so here is a short video of some exercises you can do to free up your spine and get you moving. And this is really short, so it can be used in between your work day, on your breaks, or in between looking after children, or maybe if you've been driving a lot or been seated a lot and you have 5 to 10 minutes spare. Okay, so I'm going to come over onto the mat. So back flat to the floor. Legs are going to be hip distance apart, so toes are forwards toes, knees and hips are in alignment. And we just want to make sure our back is in the centre, so what we call neutral in Pilates. So we don't want a big gap under here, we don't want to be forcing the back down. If you just take a little tilt back and forth, and you should be able to find your own neutral. So our lower back lightly presses to the floor. We're going to take a little bit of squeeze into thigh, a little bit of squeeze into bottom, and I want you to imagine you're zipping up through your middle as if you're drawing your inner thigh up towards pelvis, and with that movement we're going to start to pull tummy in about halfway to spine. Now we're just going to start to tilt the pelvis forward, so you're just lifting your bottom and then you're placing that back down. So literally a little tilt, lifting your bottom and then placing it back down. So we're controlled as we move, we're using our deep tummy muscles, we're using that squeeze into bottom and into thighs, gently pressing your feet to the floor as you tilt to give you some assistance through the leg muscles. And you're just allowing your breath to flow as you tilt back and forth. So this will allow you to just get the lower back moving. If it's really, really tight, this may be enough. If you want to increase this movement, we tilt up and we start to lift the first few back bones. And if you can continue to lift, we're going to really squeeze into bottom and thighs and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. At the top, you're going to pause, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to gradually work that back down. So think about having a piece of Velcro on each one of your back bones. We're going to carefully peel that up and carefully place that down. Releasing at the bottom, remember we start in neutral, so reset, find that point where our lower back is lightly pressed into the floor, and then we go again. So we're tilting the pelvis up, lifting the bottom, lifting the first few back bones, working up to the mid back, upper back just resting gently on the shoulders without any tension in shoulders or neck, and then gradually bringing that down. And if you try that 6 to 8 times, you can do it twice if you have time, you should feel a little bit of ache in your lower back and your bottom like they're working, but it shouldn't feel painful. And we're just freeing up the spine, lengthening everything out. Sometimes the vertebrae get very compressed if we're seated or driving for a while, so we just want to lengthen and stretch everything out. Okay, from here we're going to hug the knees in, one and then the other. Just a little release into lower back, a little stretch down the back of the leg. Then we can either work with both feet on the floor or both knees in towards chest. So both feet on the floor, arms are outstretched. You can have your palms down or facing up, whatever feels comfortable and helps you to keep the chest and shoulders open. We're going to pull in with our tummy. Imagine you're wearing a belt around your middle. We're going to tighten that belt up a couple of notches. So as we come to the side, we're moving with control. We're taking it to that point where you feel like you're going to go right over, but not quite. And then we pull back to center. This is where we really need to tighten that belt up. And then we take that to the other side. Just pause in there. And pulling back to center. Really think about that zipping up through your middle. If it's comfortable for you to take both knees in, just make sure your bottom tucks under. So again, we start with that lower back lightly pressed down. So we're coming over to one side. Find that point where we really have to work with those muscles to hold the balance. And then we pull back to center. So we're stretching out the far side of the back. You are allowing your lower back, your mid back and your bottom to lift, to find that stretch here. Pulling back to center. And then to the other side. So again, do this 6 to 8 times, one way and then the other. feet can come to the floor if your back's feeling particularly sore, making sure we're always controlling through our tummy. Control with those natural corset muscles, our deeper tummy and back muscles. Okay, last one. We're going to carefully come around so that we are on all fours, or seated if you can't be on all fours. Arms under shoulders, legs underneath the hips, and we're going to round the spine, chin towards the chest, tailbone tucking under, cat stretch. We're going to release and allow that to gently come the other way, but this shouldn't be sore or painful. If it is, don't dip, just come back to a flat back. And then we're going to round off again, tucking under with that tailbone, chin towards chest. And we're going to release, taking that the other way. So if you're doing this seated, you can do it on a chair or seated on the floor, legs out in front, little bit of knee bend, and we're going to round off, reach for the ankles, so we're rounding the spine, and then we lengthen and lift, as if you're being lifted from the crown of your head up, open the chest. We round off, tuck under with that tailbone, so you're making that C shape here. And again, lifting up and open. So again, do that 6 to 8 times. You can do these as many times as you want, depends how much time you've got and how your back feels. Listen to your body, do what feels right for you, and do reach out in the comments if you need any assistance from us. I hope you find that useful. See you in the next video.